And now, the Sucker Punch audio team proudly presents the terrifying world of the Tibetan Mastiff.
And the glove is now soaked.
And now, the ambience of Ghost of Tsushima. This is the planet Earth in a two-dimensional view. Those cute little colored Google icons represent the location so far where sound has been recorded in the field for Ghost of Tsushima. Those purple ones show where horses, Tibetan Mastiffs, and various rivers and waterfalls have been recorded in the state of Washington. This is Japan. The blue dots show where little Billy Hopper placed a recorder and captured sound sufficient for use. The red icons are places where our colleagues at J Studio recorded, while the green icons note where your friend Brad recorded on a recent trip. Now let's take a closer look. This is part of our team from J Studio. Here we see Ito-san, Una-san, Seke-san, and Surazono-san en route to a recording session deep in the forest of Honshu. There they captured all manner of bird and insect wildlife, which is now making its way into our game, creating a vast library of true Japanese fauna. They also traveled to Kichoan Bird Sanctuary near Mount Fuji to capture an array of additional bird species, including raptors and ducks, in a close and personal environment. Special mention should also be made of Ito-san, who took personal time out of trips to visit friends and family to record additional beautiful wildlife sounds in the countrysides near Akita and in Chiba. Then we have this goofball. This is the Reverend Dr. Bradley D. Meyer, and when he wasn't wearing a yukata and recording shoji screens, he was out in the field attempting to capture additional wildlife, focusing on specific species which will feature in-game. In the northern island of Hokkaido, he was most successful at recording the red-crowned crane, or toncho, at several locations. After overcoming numerous obstacles such as wind, water, and loud cars that show up right after you finish setting up your recording rig, he got the famous whooper swans of Lake Koshoro. He hiked the mountains above Nikko and recorded birds, and was also fortunate enough to capture 2 sika deer calling out in alarm. Of course, as is the plight of the field recordist, not all recording sessions go according to plan.
So I'm here in the middle of fucking nowhere in Japan. A little town called Nishigawa Onsen. And somebody has 2 drones that they're flying around. Like, it was perfectly quiet. I set up my recording gear, started recording, some people behind started talking, car drove away, and then came the drones.
Lastly, amidst a river and boisterous multilingual crowd, he was still able to capture ample usable material of the Japanese snow macaque, and also oohed and awed at how damn cute the little buggers are. And it is through this collaboration between Sony Japan, the Sucker Punch Audio team, and even Billy Harper that the ambience of Ghost of Tsushima has come to life, and in turn brought our world one step closer to being the time machine we hope to present to players. Until next time, this has been SPBC.
Sound like shit. I'll try it with the claw part of the crowbar. Okay, so this is a saw against cabbage. Sounds like a saw.
It does.
Alright, let's try the non-serrated edge. No.
Of course, when I press record, I can't do it anymore.
Fuck yeah. Go get some tea.
I'm looking for the rubber mallet as if that would sound better.
All right, so I realized I should probably make a road diary here. I left Seattle. Actually, I had to stop at work, so I left Bellevue around 1 o'clock today on my way down to Foster City, or San Mateo rather, for the mix. I made it to Eugene, Oregon in 4 hours, which is usually a much longer drive. Anyway, I am now in Mount Shasta, California. I've got some friends that live here, and they have this sweet kind of almost an apartment inside their house that has been sealed off, and so I'm going to be staying here hopefully tonight and then on my way back as well. The ride was crazy quick. It's usually a 8.5 hour drive to get down here, and I made it in 7 hours, which is crazy. But yeah, it was beautiful. It rained a little bit in Washington, Oregon, of course, but then totally got clear and just beautiful rolling hills, and it's just beautiful, beautiful drive up here, and not a lot of cars, so it was super mellow. And then tomorrow I'll drive on down to San Mateo, right across from Sony, and the fun will start on Monday. 9 in the morning here in Mount Shasta, and getting lots of nice birds. There's actually a pond, so getting some Canada geese. Fortunately, somebody was flying a plane earlier, but good forest here, so just recording some sounds before I leave. My friends are burning a big bunch of old brush, so gotta go record that too before I leave. So, taking my last walk before I have to be sheltered back in place in San Mateo, but this is a beautiful meadow. I've tried to record impulse responses before, but the I-5 is just a little too close. Fortunately, can't really see Mount Shasta right now 'cause it's behind clouds. Alright, well, I got here. This is now my home for the next month. It's not too terrible. Only problem is that there's no oven, so cooking is going to be challenging. I still haven't set everything up yet, but could be worse. Right there, that building, that big building right there, that's Sony. So basically just walk through this closed strip mall to get to work. This is my commute. This is a giant strip mall. It's usually not such an empty parking lot, of course. That's the building that I'm going to mix in. This is my awesome face mask. Yeah. So weird, but it's gonna keep staying weird. I'm looking forward to finally mixing this fucking game though and getting it done. See if I can prevent this from turning off this time. I was pouring my guts out on the wall. Yeah, don't touch anything. So this area is normally just full of people. And there's just no one. There's the Sony company store. Nathan Drake. He's the only one that's been coming in every day. And back to the studio. So yeah, it's during a normal mix session, there's about 10 to 12 people in here. Every single chair, there's usually a few people on the sides. The sweet spot is really kind of where, that's my chair. And then sort of the back there, but you're getting a little bit more of the proximity from the rear speakers there. So it's really kind of, this area here. Nick is over here in the live room. And so he's set up with his own machine. And so he's playing in here. And then we're kind of mixing in here. Usually the person playing would be in here as well. So it definitely challenging, but it works. Things are so state of the art here that instead of switches, they have gigantic knobs to turn the lights on and off. Why would you want a switch or a dial when you could have a knob? I believe these do go to 11 or 12 possibly. So we're fancy here. Here's our awesome craft services. I mean, come on. We're in a pandemic and there's still craft services. That's a loudness meter. We'll be using that. And then this is where I'll be driving Wise and playing the game. Still waiting for a sync, unfortunately.
I can deal with them one by one.
There you go. Rather than turning it off, I'm going to try to do a really huge high pass and see how that sounds.
It can't react fast enough.
I wonder if we could actually just turn down assassinations while we're in stealth music state.
Turn down assassinations while we're in infiltrate?
Infiltrate, is that stealthy sneaking around?
Yeah, that's basically like you're within enemy territory and they're not aware of you.
Yeah. I don't know, maybe that would be a bit...
I mean, even if it's like a subtle amount,
Yeah.
that might be kind of cool. But it's really the only time that you can do assassinations,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
It can sometimes be like an alert and have a guy
Yeah, could you?
running towards you and you can like jump off.
That's true, I guess, as long as they're not aware of you. Let's see what we can do here.
Maybe I just need to get over the fact that
I don't think that it's crazy to try something, you know. There's Nick in the live room playing the game. And here's our super crowded mix room. Day one wrapped up, and now I'm going through the security. So that Sony campus is usually pretty crowded, and I saw like a few other people the whole time we were there, but it was a good day. You know, we got through some good combat stuff. We got a lot more to do, but yeah, it was a good day, and you know, we've got 19 more of them, not counting weekends. So a lot of game to get through, but I think we can do it. Well, we're definitely going to do it. It's just a matter of how far we get. You know, the game's too big to mix the entire game, even in a month. So we're going to get through the bulk of it, and you know, focusing on the stuff that's really going to kind of pay the most dividends and kind of give it the most longevity as far as the mix is concerned. So here we go. Here comes the person I got to put my mask on. Okay, bye. Day 2 of the mix. I'm walking through my parking lot again to work. Still haven't gotten the bandana folding right, so I'm getting some good glasses fogging. Maybe you can see it. We're gonna finish up with some range combat today and then move on to Foley. I'm guessing we'll get through a decent amount today, and then tomorrow hopefully finish up Foley and move on to Ambience. And the hope is that by Friday we'll be ready to start digging into missions and continue the fine-tuning. Alright, well, that was the end of day 2. I totally forgot to record while we were mixing, but it was a challenging day. We had some slow technical problems at the beginning, where the machine didn't sync overnight, and so just had to deal with that, and had to deal with a bunch of other slowdowns and meetings and shit. But ended up getting, you know, the rest of combat range stuff sounding pretty good, and got into Foley a little bit, not as much as we would have liked, but at least some. This is what getting ready for work in the morning looks like now. You gotta get your mask on right, and maybe tuck a little tissue in there so your glasses don't fog, and get everything adjusted, feeling right. Oh, let's see, there's the fucking napkin or tissue. And then put on your gloves and try not to touch anything and go out to work. But today is the third day of the mix. I think we've got a good strategy. We're probably gonna do a little divide and conquer today. Have Adam work on some stuff. See, I'm fogging. Can't win. And I'll work on some other stuff, and then we'll kind of come together later in the day and review it all together. Try to get us back on track. I got to play through the game a little bit last night, which was super awesome. Got a lot more notes going. So just looking forward to getting through all the core stuff so we can really start digging into the fine-tuning of the missions. But the days are going, it's only been 2 days, but I can already see that the days are going too fast, and just want to make sure that we try to get as much done as we can in the time we have. So here we go. All right, well, day 4 completed. I keep forgetting to actually record while we're mixing. It's a really hard day, but it was a good one. We got through the first couple missions. So, progress. But it's frustrating because there's a lot of things we're not going to be able to fix because they need rigging and stuff. So it goes. So we are now, this is day, I don't know what day, but so this is Tuesday of the 3rd week of the mix. Here I am walking towards Sony there. It's going really well. We've made some huge improvements. We've actually gotten our pacing through getting through the golden path of the game picked up a lot yesterday, so we're doing pretty good there. I've been coming in on the weekends to try to address additional stuff I know we won't get to.
Okay, I'm going to try to shoot a video here because I keep trying and they cut off after 15 seconds. We'll see how this goes in 9 more seconds. It's been 3.5 weeks of the mix now. 3.5 weeks will be tomorrow, really. 2.5 weeks. Things are going well. Now it's going past 15 seconds, just not when I want it to. Things are going really well. We've made a lot of huge improvements, and we're kind of really drilling in and making the fine-tuning on the Golden Path missions now, which is great. It's also daunting how much there is still to do and how much we won't get to do, but we're trying to come up with some strategies to do as much coverage as we can. It seems like the biggest issues now that we've kind of dialed in things like the reverb and combat and most of the systemic stuff is dialogue primarily, and really balancing dialogue and music. That is what we're fighting with most. We don't have sound states in every single task. Like our checkpoints are called tasks in our engine. And so we don't by default have states there. We have to create them. Sometimes they have to be volume based. Sometimes they just exist. And we have to do that manually. And so we've been doing that the whole project, but as tasks change, so too do need the sound states to change. So we've been adding lots of new sound states. We've been also doing stuff like, adding sound states within a cutscene to try to affect the mix there. It's super time consuming. It sounds really great, but it takes a lot of time, and time is definitely the enemy. I think the other thing that's been a big eye-opening experience for me is kind of my own shortcomings on this project as far as organization of the project, setting it up, maintaining it, and really keeping an eye on things for knowing when things are actually polished. I tried to set up the project so I could do that, and I think I got deluged with the amount of work and the lack of the size of the team that we had for so long that I wasn't ever able to really stay on top of it and kind of fulfill my role as director. So that's been an eye-opening thing, or an awakening thing, and something that I hope to improve upon moving forward and into the next project and projects, and just do things better so that both myself and my team do not suffer, especially at the end of the project. There you go. 3 fucking minutes. I can't get this thing to work for 15 seconds in the studio.
Okay. Oops. So same as every day, I walked across the parking lot. There's a lot more seagulls than are normally in a parking lot. There's probably 3 times as many seagulls as cars. I haven't seen the ducks though recently. It's kind of sad because there's a star duck that hangs out by the Starbucks. But yeah, so this is now we're about 3.5 weeks into the mix. We've decided to extend it an extra week, which I think is a really smart idea. We made it through the Golden Path in the first, I think it took us a week and a half, a little more than that. And then we did all of our legendary missions, and then we played back through the Golden Path and made a lot of changes. We also found some discrepancies in our cutscenes, and specifically the pre-rendered cutscenes, which was a little alarming, but we fixed all that stuff. And you know, it's just been this long process of making things better, doing a lot of content swaps, you know, putting in new IRs. I mean, things that I should have done earlier, and things have just been so chaotic for so long. I kind of feel like this is finally the time to just get to focus on doing these things that we had been meaning to do for, you know, 2 and 3 years now, really. So, you know, I think we're working our way through the Silver Path now, and specifically the buddy chains in the Silver Path. You know, all the missions you play with Ishikawa and Masako and Norio and everybody. And that's going a little bit quicker, which is great. That was kind of one reason why I wanted to extend an extra week, is there was no way we were going to get through all those with the time, you know, 3 more days that we have. So that was to allow time for that. Hopefully we'll be able to get through the other Silver Path missions, and I would actually love another couple days at the end to play back through the game again, the Golden Path, and just do some final polish and tuning, because you know, the game looks phenomenal. Every time I play it, I really enjoy it, which is pretty rare for a game that I've worked on in 20-something years. But, you know, this game it feels like it's turning into something special, and I want to make sure that the audio matches that. Unfortunately for now, I need to track down a really annoying bug, which is we've got our wind rig. Oh, that looks weird. So our wind system, there's a lot of elements to it, but the main system is there's 4 points around the camera, each playing a wind emitter, and that will pick up the environment that it is in and play the wind for that environment. So you could be standing on the edge of a bamboo forest, grasslands, and a deciduous forest, and the coastline, and hear all 4 winds around you, so it, you know, makes the world enveloping. However, we discovered a bug yesterday where if you're playing the game, the wind rig is playing, and then you go into a pre-rendered movie, which we have, I think, 12 of them in the game, and when you go back to gameplay, the wind rig stops playing. The WISE events are still there, everything is still there, it's just the audio is no longer playing. So we started looking at it yesterday, but it's kind of a time sync bug, and you know, the point of we only have, you know, 4 people here. We've got myself, Adam, who's the lead sound designer here at PD Sound, Kyle Richards, our dialogue supervisor, and Nick Mastroianni from the music team is basically playing the game and providing an additional set of ears. And so it's not a lot of people. We usually would have 3 times as many people in the mix, but it's still like, we got to get through this game. So while they're here, I try to focus on the mix and then come in a little bit early to do some fun shit like this. So yeah, I'm basically, for now, I mean, who wants to watch me fucking troubleshoot? I'm just gonna start a capture and you know, repro it, and then look at the profiling data and try to see, is it the way that we're unloading the world or pausing the game, and then trying to create some rules and some WISE events and see if I can fix it that way, because I don't think it's a code issue. So, yay game dev. Hold on a sec. So I just soloed the, oh shit. I just soloed the wind and wasn't hearing it, so. That in and of itself is a little alarming unless we played a pre-rendered movie. No, because this is a brand new load. Just loading up some of the Sucker Punch tools. This is actually our engine. I've got a magical button so I can throw all those windows to my PC. It's not really a magical button, it's just our engine, which is it's quite nice. Okay, so then I want to filter my sound emitters for the wind rig. It's getting quiet, but it is playing. And so now, if I go ahead and grab one of these, and I'm going to skip this cutscene. And now we go into our pre-rendered movie. And all of our wind rig stuff is dropping out. And now I'm going to skip that. And we go back to game. And now the wind rig, it's all there, it's just the volume is 0. And nothing is showing it's playing. So, now I'm going to stop this. My first thought is, are we calling an unload? We are calling 2 unloads. So, what I'm going to try is, I'm going to try stopping, to not stop the wind rig when we unload the world. Let's see how that works. Okay, great. There's all our wind. Sounds lovely. Profile this. Okay, so we fade out. This is promising. The wind rig is still there. Oh, fuck yes. Oh, this is beautiful. And so I come back to gameplay. Ah, fuck, thank you. And that is the rare occasion of actually fixing a bug. And this is quarantine mixing. You can't even see Nick, he's so far away. Alright, now you guys can just berate me as I try to...
Brad, don't turn it up, turn it down. Turn down the suck, turn up the good.
Yeah, here we go. There we go. Oh. See, I keep increasing the talent slider and it just snaps down. Just look at that.
Yeah, no controller.
Because Kyle's in here.
Oh. That's the problem. There's no fucking wind. Look at that.
I'm not going to hurt you. My name is Sakai. Who are you?
Hina, Sada's wife.
My husband is innocent. The Mongols killed your family.
Where is he?
Do you think it's
I
worth
don't know.
adjusting
You're
the,
lying.
Shut up.
the interior wind stuff so more plays at really low levels of wind?
Like, so that it always plays, you mean?
Yeah, so just some... Because I don't know...
I mean, I think we do have wind always playing.
I mean, it's just really quiet, like at this, like at 0.07, obviously it must not be much.
Did you hear he said not 7? That's some fucking sophisticated.
What?
That's how people should talk.
0.07.
You said no, 0.07, and I prefer that. It sounds sophisticated. Let's see.
Trousers.
See, trousers is just
like
a
trousers.
funny. It's just funny.
I think pants is funny as well.
Yeah, pants is funny, but trousers has that like sophisticated level of humor. You know. All right, let me take a look at where all of our
Countryman
wind rigs
Simon
are.
wants to call.
Does he? I'm telling he's a cunt.
Whatever Simon.
So we're at -9 when wind is 0.
Okay.
And then we go up to... Basically at 0.9 wind, we go up to 0. So it's not huge. We could definitely increase it a little bit. But, I mean, here, let's just see what it sounds like at 0.
She can't stay here.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good.
Is the blend like... Is there a blend?
There are blends. Let's just do something fun for fun. And just crank it and see what happens. I'm going to need to look. Maybe there's like some stacking of RTPCs. Because it was a 0.06 or whatever, and you couldn't hear it at 0.3, you could. So this is now the wind rig at +24. But we don't want to keep it at that because the polycut ends before the task finishes, so we'd actually get a huge volume ramp.
Yeah.
Like you could actually hear it when volume's at 0. I feel like part of the whole issue with the NPC footsteps is just the attenuation curve should maybe like flatten out once it's within like 4 or 5 meters of the listener. I think that's part of the problem is where the lead and follow behaviors are, is they're always like right on top of the camera, and that's why they're sounding louder relative to Jin. Because the NPC's usually like at the listener when Jin's a few meters ahead.
Yeah, that might be a good idea to try that.
That's something easy that we can do here. Oh, we already are doing that. I could adjust it a little bit. Try that. You actually see if you know run around with you. That around. Oh, there's still enemies here, sorry. Do not have birds tweeting during duels. They're too pretty. Songbirds. Alright, well here's something I haven't done for a while. Walk through the parking lot and talk about my day. So today is Friday, May 15th, which is supposed to be the final day of the mix, but we got an extra week. The awesome thing is that we finished what we had planned for the mix today. So we got through all the Golden Path, all the legendary missions, and all the silver buddy chains, which is pretty amazing that we got through it all in the time that we planned. But what this extra week is going to give us is time to really polish. You know, we play through the game. Every time you play through, you find stuff that could be better. So this will just give us more time to, you know, drill down and polish combat even more, and polish the game systems, polish the initial Golden Path, polish the final mission. Probably get to a few of the Silver Path missions that a lot of people play that aren't on the buddy chains. So, in short, it means we're gonna actually get this game to a level of polish where I'm not gonna be embarrassed. And I am so happy about that.
Son of a bitch.
What the fuck? That was weird.
We'll definitely lose layers. Oh shit, wasn't connected. I wonder if this is tied to the wind gust stuff too. What it is. Try one more time. Let's take a look here. I mean, the only thing that I noticed on the display is the kind of the cuts seem to happen when we go from like the deep forest to the normal forest.
Yeah, so is it just switching?
I mean, possible that we have some stuff switching there, but what's this? Wind gust heavy in the place for just a second. This guy. Oh yeah, this guy is doing some weird dropping out and coming back. Heavy gusty loop. I bet this is going to wind gusts. It is. Alright. I have an idea I'm gonna try. I could move the wind gusts to the wind rig. Although there are some that are son of a bitch. Okay. Let me try something and then hopefully this will work. And then if so, there'll just be a little bit of surgery. This, I want to copy. Thank you. Awesome. Can't copy states, but you can copy buses with all their states intact. Alright, so now I should make a query because that'll be the quickest thing. 51 things. I'm going to go here. Okay. Let's all of the tips.
That seemed to work.
This is it. We have one chance to take down the cop.
Weird fucking hiccup.
Isn't that just the change in listener position?
Oh fuck, you're right, because we're going from the camera up. Although it pops though.
It does that a lot though, doesn't it? There's
Yeah,
quite a
it
few. I
does.
think it's just because the wind is so loud.
Fucking hate it so.
Yeah,
Let me actually watch the listener here. I don't think there's anything we can do to. No. I wanted to be able to alert. Yeah, so we're on the camera right now. Wait, where are we? Oh yeah.
This is it.
You're right.
We have one
That didn't
chance to
sound
take
so
down.
bad that time though, actually. It was less of a pop and more.
Yeah, I mean there is. It's weird. It's like a little dropout almost.
Yeah.
When over black, which I think is the listener just snapping from camera to right there, I guess.
Yeah.
But
It's a shame we can't put like slew on camera.
I know, it's funny, there actually is a little bit of a lerp, and I asked for more, and I think that's just something that we need to actually spend a lot more time on next project. 'Cause
Yeah,
it
for
was-
sure.
Yeah, it was like, oh, programmer has 2 hours here, it's got a day there, let's try to fix this, and we kept trying shit, and it just always didn't work, and
You should hire an audio programmer.
I know I should. I've been trying for 8 years now.
You should
Well, it is Thursday, May 21st, which means I've been mixing for almost 5 weeks. Tomorrow is the last day,
I'm so excited about that. I think the mix turned out really good. It's not perfect. There's so many places that I can listen to and cringe, especially with transitions and stuff. Definitely see a lot of places that we can improve both our process and technique for the next project. But I think where we got this game in the time that we had, I will be happy with. I hope fans and players will be happy with, because that's far more important. But I can't believe it's over. I am so looking forward to getting home and being with my sweetie and just being home. Probably gonna move back into the office when I get back, so that'll hopefully help with my work-life balance, so I'm not just working nonstop 18 hours a day. So yeah, now I just gotta pack up this fucking hotel room and make a really long drive. But what a crazy trip it's been, and such a weird way to mix a game, but I think it turned out okay. I hope everybody else does too.